There is a scientific reason why oil doesn't mix with water. And maybe that's the perfect metaphor for your own life. If lately you've been feeling like you don't belong, like the circle around you is completely different than you, like you became a stranger in your own circle, this is the video for you. Listen, maybe you are this flower planted in the wrong soil. Maybe the values that you hold are completely different than the people around you. Maybe basic level of respect, of loyalty, of kindness are not being met and you just feel like you don't belong nowhere. If that's how you feel, most chances are someone has benefited from making you the different one, the oversensitive one, the high maintenance friend with high values. But that is not the case. Chapter 1: The density of self. Now, let me explain this term real quick for you, okay? The reason why oil and water cannot mix is because they are made of different densities. And maybe that is true for you too. We all have our different characteristics, our different personalities, our different likes and don't like, our interests. That is beautiful. That is what makes us us. But beneath that, there is a fundamental level, our character, our density of self. Your density of self is basically your values, your virtues, and your morals. It will dictate what will come out of you in time of stress, what you will be willing to do, and what you will never do. Your density of self, it what dictates if you're the kind of person who is willing to lie to get his way, if you're the kind of person who will gossip about the friend. It is basically the soul being of yourself. Now, the reason that we can so often find ourselves in environments where we do not belong just for being who we are, it is because we are made of different densities. Look closely, okay? In order for oil to sit level with water, it will have to lower itself. It will have to literally break down. Why would you change yourself? Why would you lower your standards, lower your values just to blend in with the majority? Why would you lower your density, change yourself, lower your morals just to fit in with water? If your environment is telling you to dim your own life just to blend in, no, this is not the right environment for you. Now, listen carefully. We cannot change people. We shouldn't want to change people. Water will always stay water, and that is completely okay because we know and we are certain of the world of oil that is just out there waiting for us. If lately you've been feeling lonely, helpless, if you've been feeling mismatched, maybe you're just oil in a world of water. And trust me, I know how painful it can feel. Maybe that environment is not some imaginary far environment. Maybe that is your own family. Maybe it's the circle of your closest friends. Maybe it's your work environment. Let me tell you this as someone who often chose a different path. I lived in 4 countries. I moved countries alone when I was 19, all by myself. And all of a sudden, I found myself surrounded with people who were so different than I was. I felt like the basic levels of trust, of loyalty, of values, of things that I held precious my entire life were just abnormal. And I remember how painful it was when those kind of experiences started to leak into my own personal life. All of a sudden, it wasn't just calling friends that I didn't actually care about, but my closest family members. And then I realized when you're so focused on changing yourself, on becoming a better person, of holding a higher level of morals of yourself, it is almost a guarantee that you will find yourself a stranger in your own circle. So that's how I felt for months. And one day, a beautiful woman who I think so highly of told me that normal solely depends on where you were raised and where you stand. That is it. Let me repeat that. Normal solely depends on where you were raised and where you stand. Sometimes our environment, made of 5, 10, 100 people, can make us believe that this is the entire world, their normal is normal, their behavior is acceptable, and that is it. But that's a lie. There are 8 billion people in this planet. I assure you, no matter what value you want, no matter what standard for friends you have, no matter how high of loyalty, of trust you hold, I promise you, it does exist. I remember one time that a friend of mine told me how she treated a guy she spent the night with, and I remember just how deeply shocked I felt because values that I held as priceless were being treated as delusions. But now, 2 years after that, looking back, the environments I used to spend my time with, now they're not normal to me anymore. It is almost like I cannot believe that I once lived in it because my life now are so different. And you can change your life as well. How? Let me tell you the solution. Let me give you the light at the end of the tunnel. And that is the fact that oil recognizes oil. I promise you this. I've experienced this repeatedly in my life. Oil will always recognize oil. What you need to do is sit back in your life, look at this person, look at this behavior, and learn to gracefully, confidently, almost like gratefully say, that behavior, that's water. This is not for me. That person is water. That is not for me, because I'm so certain of the fact that other people who will effortlessly, naturally respect me and respect my own values and virtues, they exist. I should not sit level with water. I will never lower my own ethics just to blend in, just to fit in with people who can't even respect me. You gotta make the conscious choice that from this day on, you will only surround yourself with people who are oil. For me, I started to put myself in environments where I actively had higher chances of meeting people who share the same values that I am. For me, it looked like Bible studies, entrepreneurship seminar, but let me tell you, meeting the right people can happen on the street, okay? When I signed the list for this apartment, the second I sat down with the landlord, it was like a magic, okay? It was like a light bulb moment where we both understood that we share the same values and that we are so much alike. Because I promise you, oil recognizes oil, and the people that you're looking for, the people that you crave, they crave you like 10 times more. They spend their entire life waiting for you. They wish for a friend like you who hold a higher standard of themselves, who would never talk behind their back. Because let me tell you this, there is nothing more painful than having to look behind your shoulder your entire life because you've let the wrong people stand next to you. So will it take courage out of you? Yes, 100% yes. Learn that everything worthwhile on this planet will take courage out of you, but you gotta reach the level where you're not afraid of losing anyone or anything but yourself. If you feel like you have to break down to fit in an environment, you gotta live this environment. Go out to the world and meet your own people. Now, lastly for this video, I want to talk about the environments that you cannot leave. Okay, let's face reality. Sometimes the people that we talk about are our closest family members. Maybe those are friends that we spend our entire life. Maybe they know everyone around us, or maybe that's our workplace that we're talking about. The solution here is to set boundaries. Now, I want to tell you, when I talk about setting boundaries, the only person that you should be setting boundaries with is yourself. No other boundary will help if you won't keep it to yourself. Boundaries in environments can look like, with that person, I do not want to spend one-on-one time with them. I'm fine with being in the same room with them, in the same environment with them, but I will never want to hold a close personal conversation. Boundaries can be recognizing that this person, he will never get access to my heart. I can talk about the weather, we can talk about fashion, we can show our travel plans, but I will never let this person into my own inner world, my desires, my dreams, my hardships, my feelings, my heart. And this is not coming from a place of sadness or closeness or blocking yourself from living a full life, but it's coming from a place of keeping yourself safe. Because once you know what you're dealing with, you can feel safe even in environments that are not safe for you, because you know you will find those people that are your home, that you will share your values and your heart, and you'll be yourself and you will be vulnerable, and that is great. But for this chapter, I'm talking about the kind of environment where you already recognize are not safe for you. Before I end this video, I just want to tell you, one day you will realize that people are limited. They can only meet you at their level. Maybe it is not the right level for you, because the only thing more painful than not sitting level with water is sitting level with water. So that is me giving you all of the validation and all of the love to know that you do belong, that you are worthy, that the values that you crave, they exist out there in the world and they're coming for you. The future holds so many beautiful moments and amazing people that are waiting. They're looking at the stars and they're waiting to meet you. Go out into the world and meet them. I wish you the best of luck, and I believe in you so deeply that so should you. Bye.